welcome all of you. Myself, Dr. Varsha, right? So I am here in front of you now, not with the any biochemistry content, and right, but I just want you to talk to you regarding how we can score better in our internal exams, right? So we already had one Zoom meeting session in which I have given out my students all the various topics that are needed to make the notes and how we are going to prepare our notes, right? So I'm not going to repeat that, but if you need those information again, just leave a message in the comments box, or you can email me, or also you can send me a message on my Telegram, right? That is up on your screen. So in this session today, I'll be just discussing how we can score better in our internal exams related to the biochemistry. Similar kind of concept you can apply to the other subjects also, but I have prepared it for my subject only, right? Myself, Dr. Varsha Gupta, on the behalf of DBMCI eGurukul, I wish you a very good luck for your upcoming internal exam, right? And just keep smiling always. First tip, keep your handwriting neat and clean, okay? Because I know and I understand everybody even says that doctors' handwriting are very bad, right? So just don't listen to those comments. Your handwriting was already good, and just make sure that you read very cleanly. Every word letter should be understandable by the professor, right? There are two ways to do the handwriting. One thing is, if you are doing cursive, you can write things like that, right? And other thing is, see the space, right? See the space. Don't look at my handwriting because on the screen I'm unable to write properly. Okay, so but the spacing also matters, right? So you have to keep the proper distancing. It is not like you are gonna do ghich and the one letter is gonna merge with the another letter. Every word should be readable and neat and clean enough to be read by the professor, right? And most of us are having a habit to mark the answers in the question book, in your book, whatever reference book you are taking with to study for the exam, right? We just mark, we highlight things in the textbook itself. So what is our tendency is, when we are writing a question paper, right, in the college, we tend to repeat exactly the same thing, right? So don't copy the books. That is not a good impression for you. Just use your own ways. You are learned enough right now. You can make up on your own sentences. You have your own creative way to present your answers. So that adds a lot. Teachers get a very good impression that you know the content, you have understood the content, and you have not just mugged up it, but you have understood the theory behind whatever the question is, right? Try avoiding long paragraphs. See, it is like, I'm a professor, I have given you the question, and you are writing such a huge, big paragraphs, maybe for 10, 12 lines, and you have filled up, let's say 10 pages for 10 marks long answer question. So you are leaving up to me. I'm your examiner. I'm going to check you, right? Check your answer sheet. So you are leaving everything up to me. Okay, go ahead, teacher. Find whatever you are going to look for, right? So that is very bad. You are pissing off your professor. I'm sorry I'm using this word, but you are pissing off your professor. So whenever you are writing an answer sheet, imagine you are an examiner and you have to grade it. You have to give the marks. You have to check it. So what will you expect? You will expect everything should be aligned properly. Let's say, for example, there is a question about the enzymes. So first you will write what? You will write the definition of the enzyme, right? And then leave us one line. And then what you will do? You will write the classification, right? You will write the classification A, 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on and so forth. And then afterwards, right, explain classification number 1. Explain classification number 2. And after every explanation, leave one line blank. How this is going to help you? Teacher sees you, your professor sees you, you are organized enough. You know how it is bifurcated, right? And now, again, benefit of leaving the spaces, leaving one line in between is that is going to help you to fill the pages. For 10 marks question, you have to fill in your pages. So that is going to help you if you leave the line, not unnecessarily, but yes, after one explanation, you can leave one line blank. And whenever you are writing, try to write khulla khulla. Leave the spaces between the letters also, so that you expand, you make usage of the space. Right, these tips are going to help you. Don't try to write the long paragraphs, right? Try to be more organized in a tabulated manner, right? The way I give you the presentations also, in my presentation I always have the presentations, right? You can pick one bullet point and explain it, pick another bullet point and explain it, right? So that is more organized. And the keywords, important keywords, you should underline or highlight it. That gives a direct view. The teacher is going to see, okay, he has written all the major points, he has covered all the big points, right? So that is what it is. Presentation matters, how you are writing your answer. So this is one example I have picked randomly, right? This is about what? Hemoglobin. Draw the OBC, oxygen binding curve, right? And they are asking you. And one student has wrote all of this on one single sheet of paper. That is good for your notes, right? Because on one sheet, while you are revising, this paper is good enough. But if I am writing the exam, right, how I am going to change it, right? I am going to leave a space. I'm going to expand the letters. First, I will make a diagram. Then below the diagram, whatever this content is, I am going to shift it downwards so that I make use of another half of the page. You know what I am telling you, right? I am going to explain you in Hindi also, right? पहले क्या करूँगी मैं? Diagram बना दूँगी, whatever the graph is given. उसके नीचे I'll write the entire paragraph, वो भी खुला खुला. Then I will leave a space that is gonna fill up my one entire page. ठीक है? So from one page, if I am creative enough, I can expand it up to 2 or 2.5 page, right? Or 1.5, depending upon how your college is giving you, how big the answer sheets are in your college, because you are from different colleges, right? So different stationery material is being used. So I can expand this, right? So this is the bad part about this example. This is congested. This is good for your notes, but you can expand it when you are writing the exam to fill in the pages. Good thing about this is, if you can look at the diagram, what he has done, what this student has done, he is using what? He is using colors to represent the BPG and also for the normal or the diseased. And he is using the same color for underlining the big highlights. So what I am doing? I am making, the student is making examiner life easier. So he is just looking at the key points and giving you a good marks, because you are leaving a good impression on the teacher that you know what it is all about, right? So this is the way you are gonna attempt it too, right? Practice it, you will get hang of it, right? Now, the question is how to score maximum in 100, like the exam is of 100 marks. So how to get maximum out of it? How can you score maximum out of 100 exam? First of all, never leave any questions. You have to make sure you attempt the exam, like 100 marks ka hai, you have to attempt it for 100 marks. Don't try to leave any questions. Make sure you attempt most of the questions as much as you can. And very first thing in the exam you should be doing is look for MCQs, right? After attempt, first thing in the mind, we have to attempt the full paper. Attempt the MCQs first. In some colleges, there are 10 marks MCQs. Some colleges, there are 20 marks MCQs. Those are scoring, right? If you get it right, then you are getting a full mark, right? So those are the scoring ones. So first of all, attempt the MCQs. Then go for the short answer questions. The benefit of the short answer questions is, if you write the answer, there are probable chances you are gonna get a full mark, because it is 2 mark, right? So you are scoring more, right? And afterwards go for the 5 marks exam if you have one from your college. In the end, you are gonna attempt the long answer questions, because no matter how much you are gonna write, teacher usually deduct the marks off. Thus, if it is of 10 or 15, whatever, it depends upon your college, how they are bifurcating it, right? They rarely gives the full marks, very rarely gives the full mark. So attempt the MCQs first, then the short answer questions, then in the end the long answer questions. And you have to keep track of the time also, because what we are shooting for, that we are gonna attempt the 100 marks exam for sure, and how we are gonna prepare for that, right? And I have told you before also, the presentations, diagrams, figures and tools are important, especially in the long answer questions, right? If you make the tabulated form, right? And then after the table, you explain the same table, that is going to fill up the pages also, right? If there is a diagram, right, and you make a very neat and clean, well, like labeled diagram, afterwards you explain all those labels. That is helping you a lot to fill the exam. That is helping you because the teacher now knows that you know the concept, you know the keywords. Okay, so this is the presentation, right? And most importantly, how you leave a good impression on a teacher. If you write what? The clinical correlate, any name of the disease name. If you just even know the name of a disease, make sure you write it down. In my presentations also, in my lectures also, I have tried to give you the clinical correlate as much as I could, right, for every topic. So if you add on to the clinical correlate, that is going to help you a lot, because what you are becoming a doctor. You just don't know, like you, what you say, you don't have to just understand the concept, what a carbohydrate is, right, what a glucose is, what a fructose is, how the structure looks like, but you have to understand, right, that this is a disaccharide, right, and if the disaccharide, let's say lactose, does not digest properly, that is going to produce the lactose intolerance, and then that is happening where? In the newborn babies, right? So these kind of simple things, very simple things, if you add upon to that, those gives you a push up to your marks. How to practice that? We have to attempt the 100 marks question paper. Before the test, take the previous year question paper, right? Everybody usually get it from the seniors or from everywhere, like you have very good resources. Take one question paper and let's say set up the time to 3-hour limit, right? So similar to the exam, that you are going to sit at 9 a.m. or whatever time that suits you, and you are going to sit at one place up to 3 hours, and you are going to mimic, right? You are going to mimic that this is examination hall, and you have to write down the paper. That way you will get an idea how to divide the time based upon your speed, right? Based upon your speed, and then you will be able to get it done on time in the examination hall also, right? So remember, MCQs first, then short answer questions, in the end you are gonna do the long answer questions, right? Because and when you are doing the long answer questions also, then during that point your mind is half burdened, because you have already attempted the other half of it. All you have to worry about is how to get the long answer questions done, right? You don't have to worry, okay, my MCQs are left, I have to do this, you have to do this. Short things first, and then you do the bigger things, right? And I always says, and every other faculty always says, try writing your notes down with your own hands. Why do we say so, right? Why that is done? Because when you are making notes, you are just not making notes for yourself, but you are practicing how to write, right? You are practicing how to write, and that is going to help you to do the same thing in the exam. For everything we need to be practiced. It is not like you memorize everything and then you can write very speedily in the exam. You cannot do it. If you have to write speedily in the exam, you have to do it at home first. You have to keep an habit of writing. Imagine this way, the very first day of your gym, you cannot run faster. Every day you practice, and then one day you run faster, right? Same thing is with your arms and the fingers and your wrist, right? You are not in habit of writing. How you are going to write speedily in the exam? That is one of the major drawback we all get, because in this digital era, we are habitual of just tapping in, right, on the keyboard or on the phone. Our wrist and the fingers are not working very well. We just always look for the shortcuts. Give us the PDF. It is good that you know the concept, but you have to produce the concept, right? What is the benefit of any information that stays in your brain and that you are unable to produce on a piece of a paper? Because that piece of a paper is going to be graded by your professor, only then you are gonna get a recognition. Yes, you know the concept, right? So knowledge in your brain is useful for you, but to get the recognition, to get the marks, you have to produce it on the paper, and for that you need to exercise your fingers and the wrist, and that will be done only and only when you will make your own notes with your hands, so that you are exercising your muscles, so your muscles are ready to write it really fast in the exam, so that you finish the entire paper on time satisfactorily. Okay? Now, whenever you are studying, one student asked me, actually many students asked me this question, ma'am, how we split our time? Because most of you have this thing, right? Anatomy takes most of your time. I don't mind that. That is true. Then is the physiology. Biochemistry is all the way lying down there. But biochemistry is a part of your curriculum. You have to pass the exam. First thing, right? Second thing, biochemistry is the basic. You are gonna see the underlying mechanisms over there only. So you have to learn the biochemistry. Third thing, if you are smart enough, right? Those who are smart enough, they really know biochemistry is a scoring subject. Because if you know the answer, you know the answer. If you don't know the answer, you don't know the answer. That is like it, right? Biochemistry is a scoring subject that can pump up your grades, right? So you have to understand the biochemistry's importance, right? In one way or another, you have to pass the exam. Every day, let's say you have 3 hours, or let's say you have 4 hours, dedicated 4 hours in the evening for the studies. 2 hours, keep it for keep it for anatomy. 1 hour for physiology and 1 hour for the biochemistry as well. Every day keep 1 hour for the biochemistry, and that 1 hour should be a quality time. It is not like you have done 6 cycles during that day, but next day you don't remember any word of it. So that is why I always say choose quality over the quantity. Make sure whatever notes you are preparing that day, you remember at least a little bit of it. You have made a glycolysis cycle, a gluconeogenesis cycle, right? After you make everything, just sit back, relax, just stare at the cycles very carefully because you have done it, right? And then close your eyes and try to imprint that everything down, right? That is why quality over quantity. Keep your phone away, give it to your mom, or there are so many apps such as the Forest to like help you in that, right? They don't allow anybody to call you. I'll just say just give your phone to your mom, and that 1 hour is purely for your study, right? Collect yourself from all the surroundings, from everywhere, right? Take a deep breath, let it go, and then start making the notes, right? And whatever you are writing, make sure how much you are writing, you know what you are writing. It should not be a mechanical work, right? So do the smart study, not just you are filling in the pages. Do the smart study. In the first year, we are like, okay, the very first step. Look at the very first step. I cannot do it. Biochemistry is just next to impossible, right? I cannot do it. Why you cannot do it? You have come so far, right? You have made it to the medical college. Look at how many students have made it. You are one of those winners. You are already a winner, right? All you have to do is you have to just make yourself at this level. Yes, I am good enough and I want to do it. Now the question is, how do I do it? So this is the video for that. How do I do it? In the Zoom meeting, I have told you how to make the charts, how to make the notes. Now I am telling you how to score better. So I am already here to help you out, right? So that is the way, that is giving you the answer, how do I do it? Now you have to take this step, and that is gonna be a very smart step. I will try to do it. And once you do just a little bit, you will get a sense, yes, this was easy. I can do it. That is doable, right? And then you keep on working a little by little, little by little, and little by little. Finally, it will lead to where? It will lead to the success. Small, small steps every day. Small, small, tiny baby steps every day, right? If you take those steps, one day you will see that you have crossed the miles. And you will be amazed at your capability. that you have crossed the miles. Why I am emphasizing it? Because biochemistry is a scoring subject. You should be taking advantage that in biochemistry you can score really high marks, right? Now, very, very important things. Many of us feel like guilty, feel degraded about the internal marks. We try to hide it from the peers, hide it from the friends. We feel ashamed. Remember, internal marks are not a reflection of your intelligence, your ability, or your study or the efforts. They are just the marks, right? And there are always chances to improve yourself better. So your marks on a piece of a paper, let's say it is 10 out of 100, is not telling who you are. You can be good at one thing, you may not be good at another things, right? Or if you are not good at, let's say, biochemistry, but you may be good at anatomy or physiology. So don't feel ashamed or degraded by just looking at the marks. Just keep tiny steps every day and you will see you have done a miraculous job. And I'm telling you, I am there. Just give me your hand and I'll hold your hand and I'll make you pass through the exam. It is very easy. Biggest dilemma in the first year, books. Somebody saying Vasudevan, somebody saying Harper, somebody saying Satyanarayan, do it, pass ho jaoge, blah, 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 blah. Stick to one. Usually I say stick to the Harper, but you have bought the Vasudevan. Stick to it. At least first make up your mind. You have one book. You don't have to buy thousands of the books. Okay? You have to just buy one book. And whatever is there, just stick with it. And if you find something extra during the course of your studies up to the final year, just write down a point on that page. That can be, you can convert your Harper or Satyanarayan, your Vasudevan or Satyanarayan into a Harper one. All the books have the knowledge, right? All the books have the capability to make you pass the exam. So all you have to do is do the smart study, selective study, what is going to come in the exam, right? And every book can help you. So stick to the one book, right? Don't fuss around, don't roam around and don't make yourself confused. I don't have Harper, so how can I score better? You can score better with anything. It's up to you, right? You should have a knowledge. First of all, you should know the content. Second step is you should know how to attempt the exam, right? And if you have made the notes by yourself, you will be very easily be able to attempt the exam because you have done it before at home. Now you are just reproducing it in the exam. That is going to help you. That is the practice you have done while making the notes, right? And read it throughout the year. That is very, very important. Usually what is our tendency? Okay, bhaiya, this is the next month is my exam. Now I'm going to study it from today onwards. No, just make it a habit. Every day you are eating. Every day you are playing. Every day you are laughing. Everything is a routine. Why is not studies every day, right? I know there are birthday parties, there are this, so many engagements, right? We are social animals, right? We need that free time. But at least a minimum amount of time, 30 to 45 minutes, I request you to keep it for the biochemistry, right? Because later you will see you have so much with you. And and during the exams, if you have the notes prepared, that is going to make you less stressed out, feel more happy and help you score better. And then who will be rewarded? I'm not going to get rewarded. You are the one who are going to get rewarded, right? So every day, little by little, thoda, every day do little. Study throughout the year, right? Now, biggest thing, be prepared of all kind of negative energies that you are getting in the first year, right? You are getting the negative energies from the professors. They will taunt you. You don't know anything. In the laboratories, they will see you, okay, ye bhi nahi pada hai. Just don't worry about that. That is their job to taunt you. And your job is to accept the challenge, right? To accept the challenge and tell them, not the verbally, by your action. What if I never knew yesterday, but I know it today? So take that challenge. Don't listen, don't go after the words. Just be consistent. Just look for your goal, that your goal is to pass the exam. Your goal is to get the knowledge, right? So just stick to what you have, right? What else we get? We get this peer pressure from the seniors also, the raggings and all kind of stuff. in the laboratories, you are going to the classes, anatomy so much. Take a break. 5 days work hard, 6 day retreat yourself, like go for a party or do something. After every single achievement, just cherish yourself, surprise yourself, right? Treat yourself so that you are positive, right? So it's not like you have to study all day and night. I always say smart study. Study for 30 minutes, but those 30 minutes should be productive. You should know what you have learned. That is very, very important, right? And it is okay that you don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. Even I don't know everything. There are so many topics. There are so many concepts. I don't know, but I'm learning as, like, if you ask me a question and there are chances, there are 50-50 chances I don't know about it. But what will I do? I'll say, okay, excuse me, right now I don't know it, but I'll go home, I'll read about it, and then I'll come back to you. Same thing is with you. It's okay if you don't know everything, but you know something, right? And at least now you know that you don't know this topic. You can learn that topic. There is no end to learning, so it is okay. Don't keep a burden on your head that you have to know everything, right? Just know important things. That makes your life better. Always choose a quality life, okay? Always choose a quality life, right? And with this, I'll just want to finish this, and remember this thing: you are born with the ability to change someone's life, right? So don't waste it, make the best use of it. Don't burden yourself. First, you have to lighten yourself. You should know how to enjoy this life with the studies. Only then you can bring the changes to your patient's life, and you will be having a great life ahead. Thank you very much. I wish you a very, very good luck. Myself, Dr. Varsha, on behalf of DBMCI eGurukul, I would like to thank you a lot for listening to me through entire video. If you have any questions, any queries regarding to your first prof, biochemistry, or anything else which I can help you with, please feel free to leave messages on the comment box. And in the first slide, I have given you my email ID and the Telegram group. You can just leave me a message there. Thank you very much.